Hey everyone, it's so great to see you guys. Well, virtually see you. I miss you all so much. Today we're going to be talking about the founding of Rome. We're going to be talking about the Etruscans. We're going to be talking a little bit about the legend of Romulus and Remus. It's going to be a great time. So I hope you guys enjoy. I miss you all. Let's get started. So, the Etruscans and the founding of Rome. By the way, let me know if this microphone is sounding better. This will be my second PowerPoint with it, so I hope it's working great. All right, so we're going to start off with the Etruscans, the first rulers of Rome. We see some Etruscan art right over here, some pottery. That is an interesting vase, isn't it, right? And of course, we're going to see the Etruscan territory, and we're going to see that some Greeks are going to be living in the Latium plain, some Greeks living in the Italian peninsula, because we're going to see how related the Greeks are to the Romans as well. All right. Some Etruscan architecture over here on the right, seeing their buildings. On the top, those are reconstructions of what it is. We wouldn't still have the sodden tops. So the Etruscans, much like the Greeks, were a group of city-states, meaning they are little cities that are independent, ruling their area, and they share the Etruscan culture, but they are not unified. And they're going to wind up dominating the Italian peninsula. They're going to have some pretty strong armies. They're going to be able to conquer and rule. They were polytheistic. They had a pantheon of gods, extremely similar to the Greek pantheon. We're going to see a Greek alphabet. We're going to see art the same as the Greeks. So I bet you can imagine these people are descended from the Greeks. Now, they are going to teach the Romans just about everything. So the first Romans, they're going to learn about the arch, other construction techniques. They're going to learn the alphabet, the pantheon. And legend has it that there are going to be 7 Etruscan kings ruling over Rome. And it's one of those things where it's going to start off amazing. Romulus, the founder of Rome. He is going to be considered the greatest guy who ever lived, the best thing since sliced bread. But as there were more and more Etruscan kings, we are going to see they become crueler, harsher. They become tyrants and eventually must be overthrown. Okay, so we see some Etruscan writing here. We can see how it is very similar to our Greek alphabet. We know that the Greeks, they had colonies everywhere, and they most certainly had them in one of their most nearby neighbors, the Italian peninsula. Here we see some more Etruscan art. We see very similar to the Greek art. We see the amphora is very similar to the Greeks. The frescoes, just like when we looked at the Minoans. So, Romulus and Remus. We have 2 boys, the sons of Princess Rhea and Mars. Of course, it's the classic story where the king goes and hears that her niece's sons will go and overthrow him and kill him. So she doesn't want the niece, Rhea, to have any children. So he goes and makes Rhea be a Vestal Virgin, a priestess. Well, while she's serving in that temple, she meets a god, Mars. You probably remember him as Ares. Well, of course, as things go, when a young lady meets a god, they fall in love. I'm sure he bought her roses and chocolates. They went out to dinner, fall in love, and we wind up going and she gets pregnant. There are 2 sons. When these sons are born, her uncle, the king, is furious. He specifically made her a priestess so that he didn't have to worry about any male heirs. He had already killed the other contenders to the throne. So he orders that the boys be drowned. So they're taken to the banks of the river and laid there. But the river, it was flooding a little bit, so it was only a little bit of water. the boys don't drown. Now, legend has it a she-wolf, a lupin, that's basically just a girl wolf, goes and finds the two boys and raises them as her own. She apparently had cubs, so she had milk, and goes and feeds the boys, and the boys go stronger and stronger. Then, as legend has it, a shepherd and his wife, who so badly wanted children, discover the boys. The she-wolf lets them have it, and the boys are raised. Now, of course, these boys are going to show that they are, more than meets the eye. They are demigods, of course. They go and have royal blood, and we know that in this time period, they thought if you were royal, that you were better, just instinctually. And so eventually they wind up going and deciding to build a city. Romulus is building the wall. Now, there are so many different variations of this story. It could be that Remus goes and is, I imagine there's like a 1-foot wall going up and he's hopping over, and Romulus says, "No one shall ever cross these walls. Whoever tries shall die." And then Remus, being a brother, I don't know how many of you have brothers, but you can imagine this, then hops over one other time. But then, as opposed to the normal kind of fights that brothers have, Romulus kills him. Some say it's an accident, but Remus is dead. Romulus is the only brother left, and therefore the city is named Rome, which, to be fair, is a much better name than Rheims, right? Anyways, the founder of Rome, Romulus. And they basically attribute everything that's good in Rome to Romulus. Who invented the legions? Romulus. Who invented this idea of Senate? Romulus. Everything, Romulus. So, here's the thing. Romulus makes this city. It's great. It's beautiful. It's lovely. It has fantastic walls. But nobody wanted to live there. That's a problem. So, Romulus says anybody can come to Rome, even the people no one wants. And when I say the unwanted, I mean the people that were criminals, the thieves, the murderers, the people that didn't fit into society. So Rome becomes a city of misfits, of people who didn't belong anywhere else. Now, it has the new problem then. As we know, girls, typically troublemakers are boys, right? Sorry, guys, but it's often true. Now, so the city full of these bad boys, these criminals, and none of the girls want to come in and marry them. So we have a big problem. We have this city that was first empty. Now it's filled with criminals and people that don't belong, and no girls want to marry these people. So the Romans go and think of an idea. How can we get girls here? And this is going to happen to some of you guys in college. You're going to say, "Oh, well, we should throw a party, and that's how we'll get girls here." So they decide to throw a huge festival, and they invite all of the men and their daughters to come. So all of the surrounding towns and villages and cities, they say, "Oh, come to our festival, and it is going to be fantastic." So, what they do is they try to separate them. They wind up going and having sporting events for the guys to enjoy. They keep on filling their grape juice quite a bit. And over in another spot distant, they have all of the girls. So, men are getting lots of grape juice. Girls are off to the side being entertained. Then, after there was quite a lot of grape juice, and all of the dads are drunk, the Romans sweep in and capture all of the girls. This is a European dramatization made during the Middle Ages. No one was dressed like that. So, these people were called the Sabines. And think about it. Girls, if someone went and stole you, your dads would be furious. And they were. So they get ready for war. Now, the thing is, though, after, their bad first impression, of kidnapping them, many of these women wind up falling in love with the Romans that they were. They realize, oh, maybe they're not so bad. Yes, maybe they have a criminal past. Maybe they did go and kidnap me. But they become families. So when the Sabines come to attack, the women legendarily come in between. They say, no, stop. That is my husband, the father of my child. I love him. And then they go to their husband and say, no, do not go and make my daddy look like Swiss cheese. He's my daddy, and I love them. And they stop the fighting. And so these two groups, the Sabines and the Romans, wind up coming together and forming one nation. Isn't that wild? I love that story. It's a little better in person. It's weird saying it to my computer screen, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. So we then have these 7 kings. Now, I want to just draw a note that 7 is often considered a number of completion. You see it in so many legends. We see it in our Old and New Testament. It's very interesting looking at some of these dates. We don't have a lot of information to back up saying that this really happened this way. We don't know for certain if these 7 kings are even real. We end with Tarquin the Proud, or Lucius Tarquinius Superbus, if we want to speak Latin with it. And he's going to be the final Etruscan king. Like I said, they're going to start amazing with Romulus, legend says, and then they are really going to go down the gutter. And we'll get to our Roman Republic next time. Alrighty, guys. I hope you all are doing well. I miss you guys. I hope you're having lots of fun. You're staying safe. And let me know if the microphone is better. And feel free to subscribe and like it to try to boost it so we can have more history get into more people. Have a great day, guys. I miss you. Bye.